welcome to Let's Talk Careers with Sara. Today we're going to talk about sample interview questions that you will be asked in the interview. You probably heard so many times what type of questions to ask, and the recruiter is already aware that you are doing your homework and they no longer want to ask you any of these old questions, classic questions that other recruiters used to ask. So now they're becoming smarter and they're challenging you to know how exactly you are going to answer those questions. Now, when it comes to interview, you want to make sure that you're prepared, you're ready, and you know exactly what to say in order for you to get hired. They're looking for several character traits in you. So let's start with the first one. It's adaptability. Tell me about a time when you were asked to do something you never had done before. How did you react and what did you learn? When I have been asked this question when I went to an interview for a supervisor role, my first mistake was saying, if it's not in my job description, I'm not doing it. That's how I realized I made a huge mistake because I did not get hired. So the next time when I went to an interview and I've been asked this question, so I knew not to say anymore, it's not my job, but to say, I am willing to do whatever it takes for the company to be successful. If it needed be to take additional responsibilities, I'm open to that. It's actually going to help me grow in my industry, grow in my field. The next character trait that they are looking for is cultural add. For example, the question will be, what are 3 things that are most important to you about your job? So you can say anything that you feel is relevant, that you are a big asset to the company. Like, what are the 3 things that are more important, that are very important in the job? So you can say, for you being flexible, for you to adapt to change, for you to be diverse and accept anyone from any culture, from any ethnicity, and learn more about them. The third character trait is collaboration. They want to see exactly how you collaborate with others. Unfortunately, I have seen it myself. People do not know how to collaborate. They would rather work on their own, do things on their own, and not open and communicate with doing a task together or a project together. So the question will be, describe your best partner or best supervisor with whom you've worked. What part of managing style appeared to you? I have so many examples that I've looked up into my supervisors in the past jobs that I had, and I really learned so much. So I could describe, for example, being professional, know how to address situations, know how to problem solve within a minute, know exactly who to contact and how to delegate. There are so many that you can answer about. Think about the supervisor that you have. What exactly you like about your supervisor? I had bad supervisors and I had good supervisors. So I'm going to mention the good ones, what exactly I learned from them, what type of character traits they had, what type of inspiration I got from them. So this is the opportunity to explain in a positive way. The next character trait is leadership. So the question would be like, give me an example of a time when you led by example. What did you do and how did others react? So if you have been a manager or a supervisor, this is the opportunity to shine exactly how you led by examples. So you had those employees listening to you, following you, doing what you have asked. If you have not been a manager, this is not going to be asked. So you should not worry. The 5th character trait is growth potential. Recall a time when your manager wasn't available, when a problem arose. How did you handle the situation? With whom did you consult? I don't know about you, but whenever I had a job, I knew that there's always a problem. There's always a problem. So managers would like to be notified, even though they are not available, through a text, through a voice message, or through a messenger, whatever that is. Some managers don't like to be bothered, so they're giving you that delegation because they believe in you. They know you can do it, you can handle it. So you can say, for example, when there was a problem, when a customer ordered something and that order didn't go through, so when a manager was contacted, he wasn't available, then there is a protocol that you need to follow. I'm sure you do. So you follow the protocol, and based on that protocol, you are actually going through the process. Sometimes happens that you have to make your own decisions. So let's say when there's an inspection and the manager is not available, even though you texted and now you're on your own. So you want to make sure you follow the protocol, giving them the locks that they're looking for, giving them the tour that they're looking for, giving them whatever that needs to be done. Before the inspection actually happens, when someone walks in, I usually say, wait a minute, let me just call my supervisor. In the meantime, I'm text messaging all the colleagues, knowing that there is an inspector around. They should be actually doing what they're supposed to be doing and making sure that the logs are updated and everything else. At the same time, I'm messaging the supervisor. So I'm not going to tell the inspector what I'm doing, but I'm actually going to do it because that's part of the protocol, making sure that everyone is aware and nobody's surprised to have an inspector and everyone is rushing to do whatever they're supposed to do, meaning like updating the logs and everything else. So if that's the protocol, that's what you explain at the interview. That's what they are expecting to hear from you as well. The sixth character trait is prioritization. Tell me about a time when you had to juggle several projects at the same time. How did you handle it? How did you organize your time? What was the result? Time management is really crucial because if you are not doing anything on time, coming to work on time, doing things on time, and every time you're late with everything and it's constant reminders, this is like a red flag. They don't need an employee. They just got rid of that employee and they need you to take on the position, and they don't need another employee like that employee that left, that they got rid of. So they want to make sure you are organized, prioritized, explain the time when you are organized. If you're not organized, then you have to learn the skills. I actually can share with you so many websites that you can learn the skills. Just check in the description below. Time management is really important, especially for big companies. And sometimes they will ask you, why should they hire you? So you have to be ready to actually explain why you are the right candidate. How would your manager describe you? Or your best friends describe you? Or your colleagues describe you? Be ready to explain in 2-3 sentences of exactly what you think you portray to others. It's kind of like giving you an opportunity to reflect about who you are. They want to see some honesty in you. Now, to answer any question, let's say you got a question that is not out of this video, right? It's something else, different. So there is a formula that you can use, a formula that is proven to be working at any job interview, at any question that is going to be thrown at you. Use the acronym of STAR. S is for situation, T is for task, A is for action, and R is for result. What do I mean by that? Describe the situation, describe the task that you did, what actions did you take, and what results had brought to you from it. So using this STAR system is going to help you. Now, at the end of the interview, when they want to end the interview, they will ask you, do you have any questions for me? So you can ask, what is the biggest opportunity for this role? What does success looks like in this position? If you could describe your team in 3 words, what would they be and why? And there are 4 more additional questions. If you can just go through this card, you will see the link to the video. There are 4 more additional questions that are crucially important that you need to ask before you leave the interview. That's how you know on the spot if you are the right candidate or you're not. I hate when candidates are waiting for the call back and not knowing exactly if they're getting hired or not. So I don't want you to wait. I want you to ask those 4 questions, additional 4 questions. It's in the card right here, and you should be ready to get the answer from them. If you stick around for more, maybe for more few minutes, you will learn about 2 more additional steps for this interview. I really want you to get that interview, to ace that interview like you're supposed to. Stick around and learn more.